I'm in New Brunswick, which is a small Canadian province. Our population is 800,000 people. So in medicine and in politics and education, it can feel like everybody knows each other. Our approach is to find and support a handful of people who are committed to effective change. And one of those people is teacher Ryan Murphy. So Ryan is going to speak on two initiatives: promoting the opposition party's motion to modernize the Clean Air Act and his work in forming the New Brunswick Teachers Association.
Thank you, Kathleen. In March, an opposition party motion was presented in the New Brunswick legislature, calling on the government to modernize air quality laws and standards and develop a plan to monitor, report, and improve air quality in public buildings like hospitals and schools to mitigate the risks associated with the transfer of airborne illness. We needed to make that motion so popular that no one could object to it. Nearly 200,000 people have seen that post. It was covered by provincial media. It attracted international attention. And a lot of folks had done a lot of work to bring the importance of clean air to the population. Motion 36 passed unanimously. On top of that, we now had over an hour of video from New Brunswick politicians from all parties discussing the importance of indoor air quality as it relates to airborne transmission. And that started with regular citizens, parents, teachers, community members. Many of us were mentioned by name during that motions debate. It really did start with folks who knew we could do better and realized we must do better. But we kept pushing. At the request of the New Brunswick Teachers Association, the NBTA, I wrote a brief outlining what schools and the NBTA membership in those schools could do to further the ideals of Motion 36 and support the relevant recommendations of the post-COVID-19 condition in Canada report published by the Office of the Chief Science Advisor of Canada. Much of that brief drew on a previous report commissioned by the Government of New Brunswick. That report is often cited to teachers and parents and media as the reason HEPA donations are banned and CR boxes must be removed. It actually recommends several times that supplementary filtration should be added to all the rooms. The next week, the NBTA executive passed the following motion: that NBTA work with relevant partners to lobby Government of New Brunswick to make transparent how air quality in schools is currently measured and make reporting and transparency around findings readily available. It's a start, but we keep pushing. Tomorrow, I'm speaking at the New Brunswick Teachers Association's first provincial session on school air quality.
Thanks, Ryan. I look forward to hearing how that goes tomorrow. So on our website that's linked on this slide, if I can get it, there we go. So our website is linked on this slide, and you can see the details of these initiatives that Ryan has just talked about. Ryan's brief is linked there, as well as a link to the debate on the Clean Air Act motion that was in the New Brunswick legislature. So our group is called POP-NB, Protect Our Province, New Brunswick, and one member, Dr. Dalpay, also successfully brought forward a motion promoting ventilation in schools at the New Brunswick Medical Society AGM that was held last month. You can see the text of her motion and more on our site. We describe our approach like a sandwich. So we have one layer that's bringing the awareness of the importance of clean air to the general public. And another layer of the sandwich is working to inform and support motions and legislation at leadership levels, like the provincial legislature, the MBTA, NBMS, and any other group that we have connections to, or we can end up at their AGM. So we find it necessary to engage simultaneously the public and leaders because the stakes are so high and there is a lot of work to do in order to bring clean air to New Brunswick. So we're finding that virtuous cycle of the advocacy sandwich working well for us. And I think, as John Levy mentioned in his discussion, once you have success in one area, that does make it easier to bring other groups and people on board. So have a look at our website that's linked on this slide. And if anybody has any questions, we're really eager to make connections worldwide and keep on working on this. Thanks, Ryan, and thanks, everybody.